Why remain on YouTube when you've only got 61 subscribers? 61, 62, but that's been over a year and a half and I'm still here. So why? So I wanted to do this video because I'm here to stay. So I'm going to be speaking to different slides that I have here, and you can just watch along because it just helps me to just reference them. So why? So the first reason, there I am on the Virtuous Mountain Woman. I'm in my living room. I'm just having a relaxing time in our house up here in the mountains, made from Western Canadian hemlock. So then why? So here we go. I just wanted to remember why, because some days it's quite discouraging. If I said it wasn't some days discouraging, I would be telling a lie. So I'm here to uphold myself, encourage myself, and encourage other people who may be in the same position. Okay, so the number one reason, I wanted to remind myself why I started. So why I started was an opportunity to document on video my story as a Black woman living a unique life in a remote rural setting in Canada. And there was something that I got the idea of the virtuous mountain woman from the fact that I live in the mountain, and the virtuous woman in Proverbs in the Bible, chapter 31, talks about the woman who's multifaceted. She's a wife, she's a mother, she's a businesswoman. She trades with merchants, so she is doing the house stuff, and then she's out of the house doing business deals, which is the reality for many of us women. So, and then she stands out. So as a Black woman living up here in the mountains, yes, I do stand out. There's no one else up here that looks like me, not that I know of. And do I feel accepted in the community? Well, the first thing is to let you know that I accept myself. I think before anyone else can accept you, you have to accept yourself. And I do love my life here. The life that I have here pushes me out of myself. It pushes me to go elevate myself, my knowledge of the outdoors, my knowledge of woodcutting, my knowledge of wildflowers and stuff like that. So yes, it pushes myself. And I also, another reason why, and I use the virtuous mountain woman, and I thought, oh, that's a really strange title, but the title just came to me. It was so inspirational at the time. But when you don't get the hits on YouTube and subscribing, you think, oh, maybe people don't resonate with the name, and something in my spirit just said, keep the name. There's other people with names that don't seem to resonate, but they seem to get all their subscribers and everything seems to be going okay for them. So I wasn't going to use that as an excuse not to continue the name. So the other reason is to share with other Black women and women of colour the benefits and challenges of remote living. Remote living has its challenges. It's not all idealistic, because it would be wrong to say it is. So my channel is about sharing that, sharing how my experiences, or I overcome, or maybe not overcome. Sometimes it's a challenge that I have to work on and think about. So I'm going to go on to my next slide. Number 2 is to encourage other Black women that rural life is possible. So you may be a woman of colour or a Black woman who's come into a situation where an opportunity has come for you to live rurally, and you're thinking, I really don't know about this. I don't know if it's a good thing for me. I'm not sure about it. But I'm here to say to you, if that challenge comes to you, jump at it. Take it as opportunity to expand in yourself and find out more about yourself than maybe you've ever known in your life, right? So it's also if I stick to the script as well, so that women and children of colour can see examples of how black people are not defined by postcodes. We're not defined by postcodes. We're multifaceted people. We are people who have contributed on the earth as long as the earth has existed. And the world has existed and mankind has existed. We've been here. So I have powerful stories to tell of challenges and adventures of everyday living on a rural property. So I must not forget that. On days when I think, oh, no one's coming, don't forget that part of this is about documentation. Part of this is about history in creation. And don't be defined by the number of clicks on a post. So there we are, number 3. But that is why have I used that picture there? It's a picture of a child, and it just says, this is wonderment. And there's no against it license for this picture, because I've used it from using a template, so that was already there. So it's the whole idea of wonderment. Don't shy away from being in awe and wonder of creation and wanting to live as close to the experience of nature and being in wilderness and being in mountains. Don't lose that wonderment. That is what that picture shows, and I think it's a very, very good picture. It's very befitting. And then if I go back again, this picture is showing. This picture is showing. I'll just take it back a little bit so you can see. The picture is showing me, because I'm there. I'm cooking. That picture above there is me cooking in the clothing I often use in my brand for the Virtuous Mountain Kitchen, where I'm cooking. And then there's one of the projects I do up here in the mountains, which is making food. I get given food. I'll get given, apples. I'll get given zucchinis or courgettes, as they're known in other countries. I get given potato seedlings and things like that. And this is one of the projects I made, apple butter, which was like, I never did it before. It was absolutely amazing. And the other good thing about living up here is the whole idea of sharing. So I was able to share my apple butters with some of the neighbors, and they also loved it. So, and my next template I move on to is in my why. I said in this template, maybe there are other black women. Reason number 3, there may be other black women living the same lifestyle as me and want to be a part of a community, share the experiences, starting to live in a remote place. And you may want to discuss, if you're thinking about it, what is holding you back. You may be a woman on your own. You might be married to someone who's got the opportunity, or land has come to the family, or inherited, or whatever it may be. And you want to discuss and think about what is holding you back. And the other thing is, you may want to share some of your own experiences, and you're quite welcome to do that. So in this template, I'm out looking at wildflowers. Here are one of my favourite flowers, which is in August, September time. That comes out a lot, but this year it was out in July, which is like, ooh, that's early. That's the Michaelmas daisies, beautiful purple. And I have a special connection with that, because that was one of the first wildflowers was picked and put in a vase in my kitchen when my son was first born. So, because he was born in September, and in Britain, this is a time when you see the Michaelmas daisies come out, and they're very beautiful. So we're sticking to my reason, but why am I still on YouTube? So number 4 template is, and the fourth reason, challenge assumptions about how black people live. Because really, in many nations and countries in the world, black people, we are farmers anyway. We do subsistence farming, or we do big farming. It doesn't matter. If you use cocoa butter, the cocoa butter is from cocoa butter farmers in some areas in Ghana, in other Western Africa and other parts of Africa where black people are farming. So it's not something which is unusual. But in the West, we don't see it as much. And so we can look at some of our rural farming history. And also, I think that when you have stuff like vanilla, which is very, very expensive, the real pure vanilla essence, that's farmed in countries, people of color. So we are people who farm. We're people who used to live in outside life and going back inside at night. So this isn't unique. It's something that's part of our history. So because I'm doing it in the Western Canada, up in the snowy mountains. Yes, it may make me unique, but it's not a unique experience for black people. And the other thing, I think, when people say, "Oh, look at her, she's all on her own. There's no one up there that people that look like her, and she's living in a log house, and isn't this a strange life for her? Isn't she lonely?" And I think, well, not really. Black women, we're born for greatness, and we're born with the ability to challenge and move in different circles. Like we think about the Queen. Bathsheba, she was a black woman from the lineage of Ethiopian. So we are women who can adapt. We are bright. We are adaptable. We are ability to function. And that picture, that template, I had to use that because in the summer is when I had my hair really short, cut my hair really, really short so that I can get the sun right into my scalp. I've got my hair in extensions now, but in the summer my hair was good. I started in February, shaved right down to the scalp, and in the summer there you can see the sun coming in. I'm in front of us a picture there on our land of oxeye daisies. There's so much of them this past year. It was incredible. Usually I pick them for the house, but this year I didn't because I just wanted to go outside and be in it. Really, I loved it. And I'm there just outside, standing out there just after church or something, just come home from something, and just thought, what, it's a great time to just be me and just be out there. So that's the other thing to say is about challenging assumptions. And then this is really great. I'm going to give a shout out to Ecamm. I've just started using Ecamm and it's just phenomenal. It really helps me to present my YouTube information. And yeah, it's great. It's not an aside. It's really good. And I've had to really learn from young people, senior people, everyone who uses Ecamm, who's giving something online. You bet I've watched your channel and I've made a comment because I've really so much appreciated it. And then my other why I remain on YouTube is YouTube has been a route to learning new skills for me. It's been phenomenal. Like learning to use a camera or different cameras was something I used to really fear. And I've got to give a shout out to my husband as well, because he's been that great collaborator, real good friend and partner and husband, and caring and helping me with my photography. And then as I began to look back on the photographs and on the filming skills prior to YouTube, I would say I would have had none. But as YouTube has shown me something about myself, it seems I always had an eye for photography. I love it. I love detail. I love sharing. And if the energy that I'm staying in with my YouTube growth is the whole idea that I love sharing. I'm excited by life, and I'm also excited to share with other people what my life if my life can, what I do in my life can encourage someone else, then please be encouraged by it, you know. And so I'm going to go on to my reason 6, which is one of the most amazing reasons. My love for nature has exploded since I've been on YouTube, since starting or starring, starring, whichever, my YouTube channel. I love nature. I'm so excited to be amongst the wildflowers. It's just incredible. I just get this sense of awe and delight just being out there, seeing what there is out there, and learning new flowers, new flora. You know, what is that? What is that one? What is this one? Indian paintbrush. I don't even think the photographs I have here would show you the splendor, to the detail of the splendor of this. Is just incredible. I've just got to tell you, it's just amazing. And so the explosion and me walking around the land, sharing about the flora, sharing when I've seen a deer, sharing how patterns have changed over the years that we've lived here. You know, like for example, last year we had so much we call them ink cap in Europe, in England, but here they're called shaggy mane mushrooms, or you know, but there was so much on the land last year. We couldn't pick them enough. We're cooking them, washing them, putting them in the fridge, cooking them as soon as possible. But this year, no, seeing about 2, and they all died overnight because the frost came so early. So seeing patterns like that is amazing. And then I've gone out, you'll see on my other video, I've gone out with my friend Linda, and she's showing me the ushum berries, or they call them buffalo berries in eastern Canada, and she showed me demonstrated how to make Indian ice cream, and you can go and look at that as well. And I've had a fair few hits on that, because that's one of the things of this channel, why I'm not going to stop this channel, because it's teaching, it's learning, because I'm learning as well about the health benefits of lot of the plants that are on this land that I'm on, and I'm not taking it for granted. What is all around me, I'm very grateful for it. And then I'm forgetting that the wonderful thing of eCam, that I don't need to keep flipping pages, because it's everything is in front of me. So thank you. So again, I'm showing you more in detail the picture of these are wild apples that me and my husband picked. We picked about 18 pounds of wild apples between our land and going camping. So we just get some shopping bags and we just keep a lookout that the bears aren't too close around it, because they want the apples too. But this time they weren't there, so I was able to gather 18 pounds. So I've cooked half of them for apple butter, and the other half I've done for apple pie and apple crumble. Ooh la la, beautiful. And then you see me out there on the land up there. I'm just out there, out and about. That would be early spring. And then because my hair is so short there, right to my shaven to my scalp. And then I am later in the summer, when I'm just going to start cooking on my Virtuous Mountain Kitchen channel, so that I'm just talking about that there, getting ready, because I've been out cherry picking with one of the farmers' wives, included me in the group of women to do cherry picking. And again, I'm grateful for that. I'm absolutely grateful. I appreciate the invite, and I took advantage of that, and I've used all the cherries. I believe I've used only a little bit is left, but I've made cherry pie, I've made cherry cobbler, I've done crumble, I've got some ready I've done apple with cherry pie too. So everything that I'm given up here in the rural area, in the mountainous area, use everything that I'm given. I take nothing for granted. And then the my other reason, my seventh reason why I remain on YouTube, I'm gonna get into that. Everything is a journey. Everything is a journey. I remind myself that this is a journey, and I've been doing some training with Kathleen Cameron recently, and one of the things that I've been looking at is my devastation, really, and my disappointment about my YouTube growth and my YouTube journey. And so I'm trying more and more to stay in the energy of where I want to be. I want to be to my first 100,000 subscribers, my up to my million subscriber, my community. And everything says to me, well, that is ridiculous. You've got 60 now. How could you even get there? Well, I don't want to know how. I just, now and again, I just jump into that experience, and it's great. I enjoy it. I just stay in there, wallow in it for a while. It's great, as that's where my destiny is. But I know that what I need to get there, I have to get inspired thoughts to keep on moving, to keep on learning, to keep on being. And then sometimes you see people who got blow up over in YouTube over a short period of time. I've seen people who started the same time as me, and I've got 60 subscribers and they've got 10,000 or 12,000 or 15,000. And that can make you really throw you off. But I've decided to stay focused on the reason why I started. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, is reminding myself why I started, and to stay committed to the process and enjoy some of my dream time of when I'm, doing, and what my life will look like. What me and my husband will be doing on the land when I get my first 10,000 subscribers, things will be like when I get my first 1,000 subscribers, and places that we're going to go, and things that we're going to teach, things that we're going to learn. And also the old saying, slow and steady wins the race, because the race will be won. It absolutely will be won, and it's being won by staying focused. And then I move on to my next reason is the algorithms are working for me every day. The YouTube algorithms just love me. They're working for me every day. I can feel that energy right now. I'm in that energy and I'm just loving it. And they are working on my behalf as I keep faithful to the reasons I started the channel, and provide constant material and be consistent. So yes, so the YouTube algorithms are just totally love the Virtuous Mountain Woman, and the different projects that are coming up in my mind now is just going out to other women in this community, or wider than here, but rural communities, and just having tea with them, talking with them, filming them, and talking about our experience as women who live in the rural areas. Whether you're a black woman, whether you're a white woman, doesn't matter who you are. Women, we have a unique way of being, and I've always had a unique way of being in the rural areas. Sectors, this is a very, very important part of our us as women, right? So I'm still learning, and all the time learning about my presentation, where I sit with the camera, where all of that, and use of color, use of technology, which is I'm learning every day. I'm learning something else to be a part of my youth to journey. And then the one area of YouTube that I have grown, and I've seen growth, is my Strong Day podcast. It's a source of great encouragement. Sometimes I listen to my own podcast because I don't know where those ideas come from, those thoughts of encouragement. And so the Strong Day podcast is a source of encouragement for me and for others as well. And I got this idea because the whole idea of what makes a strong day and what makes me feel strong. And I thought, well, I feel stronger, I really do, if I start my day with exercise. Even though exercise is listed on this slide as the last, if I start my day with exercise, with prayer, with focus, with thankfulness, and reading something. And sometimes because I read, it means I write. I write a lot. I'm always writing. So I'm encouraged to hear new research saying that handwriting is so powerful for the brain. So it's all great. So the Strong Day podcast, I've not been consistent with. Because I've got discouraged also, because sometimes when I do the live feed, I'm the only one on it. So, but I also know that I can send that out after the live feed so that other people can experience it later on. So that is something I'm learning to do. And then on the Strong Day podcast, I'm exploring faith. I'm exploring inspirational thoughts. I'm encouraging meditation. I'm encouraging prayer and reading from a woman's point of view. And it's a wonderful source of joy to me. And, in recent weeks, I dropped the ball in terms of my exercise. And when that happens, I feel very discouraged. And it takes me a lot to jump back in. And so I'm learning through my training. I'm on the millionaire training. And I'm learning from that training to forgive myself, jump back in. Because if that makes me strong, stick to it. And the great thing is that from my strength, I'm growing other people's strength. So that's another reason why I'm staying on YouTube, because when I'm encouraged, I encourage others. I can influence others to be the best that they can be. And, the exercising is a very important thing. And I usually mainly exercise using Mr. T, Sean T, and I also dance with Tara Body. So usually those are the two areas of exercise that I do. So I'm just recently doing the digging, and that's interesting, but I'm doing that. And while I'm exercising, I'm meditating as well, meditating anyway, and I'm focusing. And one of the things I'm not forgetting, because it's up there written down, is I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for my life in the rural area. I appreciate my life. I appreciate, as a woman, I'm learning so much. And I appreciate my husband as well, who's up here as well. He's a great collaborator, he's a great friend. He's my husband, he's my lover, he's my friend, and a great collaborator. We've been collaborating now for nearly 34 years. So, and this whole Virtuous Mountain Woman channel is a manifestation that we've manifested after many years of living in the rural. This is the desired ultimate location for us. So even if we visit and we travel, this is the ultimate place for us to be, and we love it. And so this is another reason why sharing on YouTube is so important. And so I'm really pleased to be doing this presentation, and please subscribe, like, and subscribe to this channel. You're more than welcome. And as you see, this is a working process downstairs. This is my YouTube studio. This is my office. This is my exercise studio. So this room is this space down here. This room is as the three different functions, which is what I had manifested it for, because it had come into my mind so many years ago, that to have a designated space in my home for my exercise, and here it is. And while I was doing that, I didn't think about the YouTube channel, but this is perfect because I'm just in front of the window. And when the snow comes down, well, I can take my shades. You can see there. You can see my magazines there. But we're still doing a lot of work down there, drywalling. We're still doing so much, and it's exciting, and want to share with you in this YouTube journey as much as I can as well. So thank you, and welcome to the channel. Subscribe, share if you find this interesting for other people, and thank you.